Hi, everybody. Welcome to our newest edition of Del Talk. I have a very special guest, and I'm really jealous of his location, but we're going to talk a little bit. We'll get to his location, a beautiful view there. We have Marty Medve on with us today, who is a president of Trident Home Loans. Marty, how are you today, my friend?
I've been busy.
You have you have been busy. Give us a nice view of where you're at, Marty. Look at that.
Yeah,
Beautiful
let's take
Florida,
a look.
right?
Yeah, we'll go look at the view here on Pensacola Beach.
Yeah, there you
Nice
go.
day on the surf, looking out at the
Yeah.
condo. Yeah,
Beautiful
a
view.
little gray today, but not too bad really.
Not too bad. You're in a beautiful state there in Florida, Marty. So I'm sitting here right now in San Diego, California, and it is
Oh, no, love it.
it's beautiful here typically, but it is dumping rain as we speak right now. So so that's interesting. But enough of the weather. Thank you, Marty, for jumping on and being with us today. I'm always excited to speak to our partners on these and learn about them and their business. And maybe you have a very exciting background, how you got into it. You flew planes, you're a pilot, all the great stuff. But maybe you can give us a little bit of history about you. Then
Yeah,
we'll get into the company.
so about 21 years ago, a couple of the Naval Academy graduates said, "Hey, you'd be good at getting loans. How did you buy this house?" And it came through investment in real estate and building a house. And so I went to work for a mortgage company, and my first 3 months I closed 40 loans. And they're like, "Wow, you're a math major." So I had a math background, I had a financial background, and then kind of stepped into a really hot market in 2002. And then through word of mouth, that kind of led me into growing and growing and growing over the last 22 years. And national ranking #1 several years in a row for VA. Right now I have about 50 plus loans, and the company's kind of booming. So
Yeah, and a lot you specialize. I mean, you offer a lot of loans, excuse me, for your borrowers, but you really have that strong VA, like you mentioned, that VA
Right.
Understanding and deal with veterans, and veterans are important to you, obviously. And what are some of the things that your company does to help the veterans? Do you educate them through the process? How does that work?
So we really are probably one of the premier lenders. There's another company I can think of, but we're very, very good at transitional VA for pilots and people exiting. We're good with VA future income, multifamily use there in San Diego. I have a good broker out there that does the multifamily qualification. It's really difficult VA loans. And so we're pretty broad based with our VA expertise, and we actually are very good with understanding the guidelines and the rules and qualifying people and getting them to be able to get a VA loan, and also fighting for their right to use VA loans with realtors. And so that's our forte. About 80% of our loans are VA, about 90% of clients are VA. Conventional is close fine too, but our rates and service, I think, are nationally ranked #1.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job. But Marty, you touched on something that's interesting, because I think in the past VA loans were a lot harder to get accepted from agents, right? So what are some things that you do? So you said you work with agents to get your offers accepted. What are some things you guys do?
So we have a great national presence with our reputation on all our reviews. When a veteran, I tell the borrower or realtor that the VA loan is a lot more powerful than a conventional loan, because it allows them to do 100% financing, and I just explained to them that it doesn't have to appraise in 2-3 weeks, as long as we get the appraisal. I mean, they're super easy for us, and I think that credibility allows the veteran to go out, and I'll talk to a listing agent. That's all I did last year, and I'll help the veteran convince the realtors to let him do VA and get a better deal.
Right. Yeah. VA financing definitely has a lot of advantages too, especially helping out our vets. I live in San Diego, like you mentioned. I know you guys do some business here. I think the VA opportunity, especially now, what are your thoughts are with IRRRLs and streamlines? Like, where do you see that going? Obviously, right?
So our market right now, we doubled our volume in January. We went from 150 to 300 applications in a month, and the same number of loans, about double the volume locked. That's before the market came back. It's cold, it's raining in San Diego. There's not a lot of movement. So we expect that to double. And then when rates truly start to drop, and we'll probably hit 2% inflation in about March or April. And then when that happens, it's a free fall. So you're going to see a volume double again, because now we'll get the refis back. And so we've already geared up and staffed and trained on VA IRRRLs. And I was nationally ranked number 1 in 19 and 20, or 20 and 21 doing VA IRRRLs. So that's where we cut our teeth on. Now we're ranked number 4 and 7 on purchases. So we've transitioned really well. Thanks and you guys do a great job too at Kind. You take really good customer service, and so you're one of our go-to lenders because of that. You have a great rep. Yeah. And we have a good working relationship with you guys.
Yeah, no, we have a great, we love your partnership. I want to talk about that. Let's talk a little bit about that, because I think that's really important. I was in your office. I missed you the other day, but I got a chance to tour the office. We went to lunch with some of your people there. Awesome team.
Nice place.
Yeah. And I love the jets. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the jets that are hanging in the entrance. But I think, I would give Austin Willens a shot, right? He looks like a Navy SEAL himself, so he's definitely knows his stuff and is very well versed in all the products. And I know he partners with you guys quite a bit, but how important is it for you guys to partner with someone that knows your stuff? I like, you have, rates are important and so forth, but how important is that relationship with a strong AE and a lender, both?
So each lender is like a person, and what you have to learn that personality. And when you do, you realize, well, I don't want to, work with that person because they can't close the loan on time, or they're not reliable, or they laid their staff off, or, well, yeah, they lowered their rates, but they don't have any customer service, or their underwriters are too in the box. You can't reach the right person. And so with us as the CEO and the owner, I as the head LO, I really deal with the problems. And if we can't close a loan on time, I'm not worth a damn. Yeah. So I want to make sure that we pre-approve properly up front. It's kind of a tongue twister, but we want to make sure we do the pre-approval first really well. And if we run a scenario to you guys, and you guys say, yeah, this is how we can do it, then we greatly appreciate that. So we have scenario help up front, and then we have a really good performance in the underwriting, and we don't have a lot of garbage stuff that comes through. And then it keeps the workload off of us to be able to do a higher volume and offer lower rates. And so we have a great working relationship because you're one of our lenders that's highly credible. Now, rates are always going to be a tough thing with lenders, right? But you guys at least have the customer service levels that we require, and we're pretty damn picky. And some lenders we're not using at all because they laid people off, they didn't bring them back fast enough, and they can't meet demand, and they start falling short. So, we just know who to work with and who not to, and you guys so far have been great.
Yeah, no, we appreciate the partnership. I know Austin works really hard. Our whole operations team, Natalie and Christy, they want to go out and see you guys as well too. I think meeting people in person helps a lot. So I'm excited to go out there and see you guys again, hopefully this first quarter. But Marty, like you touch on that you have a lot of pilots, right? You work with a lot of pilots. You mentioned that. How do you keep them engaged, like a borrower, right? They're busy. So how do you keep your borrowers engaged?
We have a different, we have a different process at Trident. Yeah. There's a core of us that do, I think 3 of us have about 90 loans right now, and the rest of the company has maybe 50. So we're very centric on the main group that has a lot of loans. We build teams for those people. Jonathan Kulak, he's an Air Force gunship captain. He has probably 30 loans right now. Stacey Haynes. Yeah. I probably have 50 or 60, and we build teams, and the company supports the LOs. So the LOs go out and sell, and then the teams take the loans and chew them up and spit them out, and everybody's happy. Yeah. So we're very heavy with loan officer support, but we have a very good process that's very efficient and not expensive, by the way. It's like that we had a lot of cost cutting over the last 6 months, and so we're highly productive right now, but also efficient. Yeah. And so we support our LOs really well to go out and do production and volume and do another job if they want to. So that's a key with our company.
They're great. And Marty, like your office is located in a very beautiful location. We're talking about the office. You have the jets hanging there in the front of the office. How do people come into your office? Do borrowers come in? Talk to you a little bit about that. Is it all remote? What's up with that?
No, we have 2 of the nicest facilities in Pensacola between Bayland and Plantation, about 34,000 square feet that we've heavily remodeled. We have a loan officer center, a training center, and we've started to allow a lot of local real estate companies to use our we call fishbowl training room, and we facilitate a lot of training in there. So when we teach a class with our rates, all of a sudden we gain market share. And so we're using Balin as its dedicated purpose now as a training center, and then Plantation will grow into a large operational center. I've hired 5 people this month, so we're rapidly picking up demand and meeting it.
Mhm. Yeah, and you travel quite a bit too. What kind of technology are you using? Right, like the lenders.
Yeah.
I know technology is important for us. We want to make it easy for you to submit loans with us. What kind of tech are you guys using to help build your business?
The nice thing about us is we have a nice 5 or 6 person marketing staff, and we do our own computer programming. We program our own website. We just purchased Meridian Link, so we're upgrading to Meridian Link right now. First loans are going through the system today, tomorrow, and but we did something like 300 loans a month with manual operations, and so we had a huge staff, about 130 people, and now we can do that same volume with about 60 or 70 people with Meridian Link. So we've learned to pick not Encompass, not something that's really involved, but something that's just a step down that gives us everything we need for seamless flow of documents. And so we spent a lot of time upgrading our system and picking the right system. And I think Meridian Link is going to be a tremendous support for our LOs, and it integrates with IDS and the application software, so it's going to save us a lot of time, which means we're going to save a lot of money, do more loans.
Do more loans. Yeah, more manufacturing loans. That's awesome. And where do you see, you touched a little bit about like inflation, Marty, like as a business owner, you've seen it all. You see costs, you see them go up and down, markets go up and down. How do people that want to be more involved in the VA space, like what are some things that they should be doing? Right. I mean, obviously they want to contact you first, right? They want to learn from you, learn about Trident, but just high level tips on what you can give some brokers that would probably interested to learn more about this.
So really the whole thing with VA is that, we have some competitors that are, the Zillow lenders that are really high priced. You have some of the national lenders that are high priced, and they're pretty aggressive when they go after borrowers and they're on the internet. I've been able to beat them, just by offering better rates and doing higher volume. And, a lot of the VA buyers, it's really not hard to be a top competitor in the VA market against everybody else, because they're not offering the lower margins. They're trying to make crazy money. I just think that, a tip to an LO is that, your commission might not be the best if it's too high. You might have a lower commission and be able to get a better rate. And then, I think it's also expertise. I would say right now, to gain market share with the VA loan and VA lenders, is teach a class. Just go to the base and offer to teach a class. And, veterans really don't know what that benefit is. They and then once they find out they can do 2 or 3 VA loans, and they find out they can get a 6% seller credit, which people think it's 4, it's not, it's 6. And there's a way to do that. But I don't think most people really understand the benefits of the VA loan in terms of multifamily use. And so there's a lot more availability with the VA than people think. And when a first-time home buyer realizes they can do 0 down and get the seller to pay all the closing costs, then you can invest and buy instead of rent or do the BAH thing. Then the VA loan is a very empowering tool.
Right. Yeah, it is. Like I mentioned, I've been living in San Diego my entire life. You have a lot of opportunity here for VA, and it does change people's lives, and we have brokers here that focus on it similar to you. And Marty, we didn't ask you this question beforehand, but what I've seen on the marketing front, you said you have a whole group of people helping you with the marketing. How much value is there in flyers and mailers? Is there a lot of value in that, Marty? Do you guys do that? Any of that?
So
I have clients that drop a lot of flyers and mailers, right?
So I typically the realtors want a daily rate sheet, and so I would tend more to say do a listing flyer for the home instead of a daily rate sheet. And you guys do the 2-1 buy down. Do the 2-1 buy down on the rate sheet instead of doing the get the realtor to offer up a seller concession in advance, and then project that out. And we do a really good job of that. Another lender, New American Funding, does the same thing. All the realtors get listing flyers in their listings, so you're not getting the higher rates being advertised that other companies are offering. You're getting their rates, and so that helps the buyers. It also helps you brings you buyers too. Right
on.
Flyers are great. Yeah, listing flyers. Teaching classes, things like that. And then, Austin is a great rep. we know of several that's in his same class, and he's one of them.
Yeah.
Very professional, very timely, and you're reliable. And when you can combine those three qualities, you're going to do well, especially with me.
Definitely.
I'm pretty unforgiving. I'm pretty brutal. I'll tell you how it is if you screw me over. I'll go right after you. But
that's a good way of doing it. Being direct it works. Being direct, it works. That's how we all become better. So, Marty, you've answered a lot of questions on this, so thank you for that. One of the pieces, as we're wrapping up, I don't mean to keep you on here long, especially with Marty, with that view, man, you got to be enjoying that view, right? But what, a lot of the people that are high producers like you and are very busy, typically have some.
Well, I'm not, Dale.
You're not as busy.
No, I'm not, because I created a staff that works really hard, and I actually enjoy my life incredibly. And I used to spend 11 seconds doing a loan because I already had the credibility and the rates.
Yeah.
And now I've shifted to spending an hour each borrower because I want to kind of get into their whole market, and I start to go after their whole world that they're in. So I spend a lot more time with each borrower by choice. I already had the loan. I have the dedication, the reputation, but I actually got more into the borrower to find out if there's more opportunity on how to, market from him or what community he was in, and then allow him to help me because I was helping him.
Right. That's awesome. And that's where I was kind of getting at right now is that you say you enjoyed life, right? Like you're doing a lot of that. Is there something you do in the morning do you have a routine in the mornings that you want to share, or do you not have a routine? Do you do something different in the morning? Work out? What do you do?
I have a great life because everybody I talk to it's a happy conversation. And so I've got a clientele that's with the reputation that over 21 years is really, we're happy to talk. The last conversation was with a Navy SEAL preferring his Air Force Academy son who's going to flight training.
That's awesome.
And he's already referred 2 loans to us. So we're going to give him the reward of a preferred partner. We're going to give his son a really good deal down in Shepherd. We're going to teach him Wichita Falls, Yeah. And I'll probably let one of my Air Force Academy loan officers do the loan for him. So we just love, and again, I'll tell you, I just love connecting people. Yeah. And the nice thing is the company's gained a lot of trust. So when I talked to my loan officer class yesterday, I said the number one thing that I value, and this is what I would say to all your loan officers: if you can't build trust with a client, you're gonna lose the deal. He's gonna be a nightmare. He's not gonna close. Trust is the most important thing I can tell you that I build, and I do it from day one on the initial conversation, and I ensure quality assurance with the way my company operates, and it closes.
Right.
And you guys give me trust because I can trust you with my clients to underwrite them and close them on time.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Trust is one of the biggest components of the business that we focus on here. I think that's a very well said, Marty. Listen, we're running up on some time here for you. Thank you so much for being on with us today.
Dale.
So if I'm a loan officer and I want to learn more about Trident, if I want to learn more about how can I connect with you, Marty? What's the best way?
info@mythl.com, or just shoot me an email, marty@mythl.com, or our website. I just picked up a couple of really big loan officers locally here, so I'm pretty happy. We're kind of killing our competition by taking their loans.
Hey,
the last conversation I had, which was an hour long, was a top producer in the county, and she's coming over, and the real reason is that she lost all of her loans to us the last 3 months. So she's decided it's better to join him than try to beat him.
There you go, Marty. There you go. Well, I'm glad you're building your business. You guys have a great philosophy. Thank you for helping so many veterans.
Thanks,
that's a big deal for us too, Marty. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you want to get a hold of Marty, he dropped how to get a hold of him. And I'll see you hopefully in a couple months, Marty.
Yeah, come on out. We'll go to the Marlin, have some fish.
Let's do it. All right. Thanks, you, everybody.
Dale.
Have a good day.